G'day everyone, hopefully you've had a good week. It's been a big one with the federal budget handed down, and I think the fallout's continuing. It's probably shaping up to be one of the most contentious budgets that we've seen for decades, really. We're pretty busy with tax planning still, and that'll be next few weeks. Things will really ramp up, but we think it's a great time of year to catch up, run the numbers, seeing how your tax position looks before the end of the year, put in place those tax minimisation strategies, and make sure you're conserving as much of that hard-earned cash as possible. We often think back to Kerry Packer's statement back in the early 90s where he more or less said if you don't minimise your tax, you really want your head spread because the government aren't spending it that wisely. I think those words well and truly ring true at the moment. So just with the budget, the proposed CGT changes along with the taxing of discretionary trusts, which wouldn't kick in till 1 July 2028, probably sparked a lot of frustration and disappointment across the board, really. And there's a lot of questions around, you work hard, take a lot of risk. What the hell are we doing all this for when we just seem to be getting taxed from every angle? And when it comes to housing and CGT policy, including negative gearing, is the CGT and negative gearing really the problem with the lack of housing, or are there other issues such as the immigration numbers, the supply issues, just how difficult it is to actually get some of these development projects off the ground? So at this stage, which I was very worried sort of leading up to budget night, whether or not they were going to touch the CGT concessions or not, the small business concessions that we talk about a lot, but they haven't. But I think, we need to probably take this opportunity now to make sure that if you want to get yourself structured for the future, particularly around asset protection, succession planning, it's a really good idea to take advantage of what's on offer now because they are very generous concessions. With a lot of the farming situations, the tax saved is in the vicinity of millions of dollars for businesses. We restructured a business recently and the tax saving was around $600,000. So it's very important to take advantage of these concessions whilst they're around. I think, you noticed that the Prime Minister and Treasurer got questioned a number of times around inheritance tax, given that they've done the backflip on capital gains and negative gearing. I suppose they've been asked a question and they've ruled it out completely. They're not going to touch inheritance tax. So I think that should get us all worried that, those changes will be brought into play at some stage. So I think now's the time to act, take advantage of what's on offer. We've probably got this window of opportunity. So if you're a business and your turnover is below $10 million, you do qualify for some sort of concession or rollover. So it's well worth looking into. The articles this week, there's 3 articles there, a couple on CGT, which is very timely, and also just the one on the budget. So have a good look at those. Apart from that, as I said at the beginning, we're busy with tax planning, looking forward to catching up with clients we haven't yet caught up with and put in place the strategies before the end of the financial year. Yell out if you've got any questions on anything in today's newsletter. Otherwise, we'll catch up and do it all again next week. Thank you.